And why do you talk about business and money all the time? I don't talk about it all the time, but the reason I talk about it as much as I do is because I don't want to misrepresent Christ in the marketplace. I want to tell people I serve an abundant God while I live a life of lack and demonstrate nothing that I'm proclaiming.
Whoa.
And so this is one of the purposes of wealth, proof of God's blessing on God's people. So the only time in the book of Genesis, and by the way, some of the 8 times it's mentioned 2 or 3 times in the same story, okay? So it's not 8 individual principles. The next to the last time it's mentioned, Genesis 41, 42, the only time it's mentioned in conjunction with somebody who's not a child of God is when Joseph gets called out of prison by Pharaoh and he's made the prime minister. And he takes the ring, Pharaoh takes the ring off his finger and puts it on Joseph's finger, and then he puts a gold chain on his neck. That's when God is showing it as a provision for God's people. Now, you ready for your mind to be blown? That's not the only place in Scripture that teaches us that the reason God has ordained that evil people get rich is so they can provide that abundance to God's people. We see it. That's a very, very abundant illustration, over and over, consistent. That's the good word, through Scripture. But King Solomon, brother sewed it up. Ecclesiastes chapter 2. The theme of Ecclesiastes, because Solomon, when he was young, he was yielded to God. In the middle of his life, he was as backslidden as you can be, right?
Yep.
Pagan wise, worshiping idols, like worshiping false gods, just insanity. But he wrote the book of Ecclesiastes at the end of his life. He didn't write any books in the middle of his life. He wrote Proverbs at the beginning of his reign, Ecclesiastes at the end.
It's like the dark ages in between.
Dark ages in between.
Yeah.
And Ecclesiastes is telling you what he learned. And he learned 2 main lessons. So if you don't understand that this is the theme of Ecclesiastes, you won't understand what you're reading. This is the theme of the book of Ecclesiastes. If you live your life for life under the sun, you've wasted your life and tortured yourself. That's why it says, all is vanity and vexation of spirit.